Hi, it's Malcolm from Aquaspray. Today I'm going to revisit the unboxing of the HD7122TS, the automatic version. Now I have done one of these unboxings on the channel before, but they have made a couple of improvements. The machine looks slightly different, and when people have been watching that video, they've been saying, mine doesn't look like that, mine doesn't have that item on there, and I'm having to explain it. So this is the latest version of the HD7122, so let's get into unboxing it. So just before we get into the video, I want to explain a little bit more about Aquaspray. The channel name here is Kranzle Pressure Washers, and we've been Dealer of the Year for the last few years for them. Here at Aquaspray, we carry every accessory, spare part that you need for the machines, from foam lances, patio cleaners, hose reels, vacuum cleaners, sweepers, big industrial hot water pressure washers. Not a lot of people know that we do Karcher as well. So we have the carpet cleaners, the pressure washers, the vacuum cleaners, the steam cleaners, we have floor scrubbers in stock, all the accessories, spare parts that you need for them. We also do performance PPL detailing products, where we have ceramic coatings, iron fallout remover, tar and glue, ceramic snow foams, even the wash buckets. We've recently taken on Earl. Although this is a small one, we tend to stick to the big forecourt car wash type of machines. And then we do second-hand Kranzle pressure washers as well. That said, let's get back to the video. So why would you choose the 7122TS? 7122TS, we would normally sell them into a mobile detailer, mobile valeter sort of situation where they're sucking out of a water tank. With only 7 litres per minute, that tank will last a lot longer than pretty much any other machine on the market, but it'll still give you enough power with the 120 bar. When you let go of the trigger, the machine stops, so it's completely silent and it's ready to go when you pull the trigger again. So another question that people ask me is, will it suck from a mains water hose as well as a tank? The answer is yes. So without further ado, let's unbox the 7122TS. So 2 flaps at the front, just fold down, and then you're greeted with "Say hello to your new favourite tool" on the cardboard. When you open the other flaps, this is where the new cardboard tray is, where your gun and lance is. And then you'll have a water coupling. This water coupling is ideal if you are sucking from a tank, so that you can Jubilee clip the hose to it, and it's less likely to drag any air in from, say, a cheaper water coupling that's not quite compatible with the Kranzle one that's on there already. You will also get all the spare parts manual. Every exploded diagram is on there, every spare part, where it is, how it fits. Every O-ring is available on these machines, so it's worth keeping that for future reference. If you need anything, if you give us the part number, we'll be able to sell it to you, no problem. It'll be available on the website also. The manual, although the manual looks thick and a little bit intimidating, there's only that much of English. If you do read it, it will give you important information about the service intervals, where to change the oil, how to change the oil, when to change the oil. And then you've got other things like putting it into operation, you know, solving leaks, unblocking lance nozzles. This manual will pretty much tell you how to fix it. So if you read it, it might save you a lot of money sending it in for something really silly. So the cardboard tray that the gun sits in, just to one side, and then we can get the hose out. Now, if you stay a little bit to the end of the video, we do have options on the hoses as well as the lances and guns. The grey end of the gun, it's quite important that you put that onto the Kranzle gun. The grey end of the hose even. The grey end onto the gun, this will cause it to swivel so that you'll be able to freely move the hose around and it'll stop it getting tangled up. So grey to the gun, black to the machine. So after the hose, the only thing left in here is the machine. These are quite heavy to get out. This is a brand new version of the 7122TS. There's nothing else in the box. I would advise to try and keep hold of this box. If it ever needs to come back to us for service, repair, or if you find any damage, don't just throw this away, keep hold of it. And then you've got the perfect box to send it to us. When you first unbox it, before you even turn it on or put any water through it, double check everything. Carriers can be a little bit rough nowadays. You only need a driver to drop it out the van, and the machine could be damaged, and the last thing you want to do is turn it on. So check the plug, make sure the pins are all straight on the plug, check all the cable, make sure there's no damage on the cable, and then have a good look around. All the plastics, make sure there's no cracks anywhere. The switch, plastic on the switch is good. The pressure gauge has glycerin in it. I can't get it off. Pressure gauge has glycerin in, make sure that's there. Nothing's bent, the red unloader, make sure that's not bent. All the fins are all nice and straight. All the screws are on, and this fan cover's perfect. We're more likely to be able to help you if you check this straight away and then contact us straight away. If there's any problems, then we can sort it for you. So you can tell this machine is the automatic with the black micro switch box on the side of the pump. On the other side of that is the red unloader. If you unscrew this and take tension off that spring, you will reduce the pressure at the end of the lance. And then when you tighten it up, you'll get to the maximum pressure of 120 bar. When it stops, don't over tighten it, because it's just on lock nuts. You're just going to damage something. So when it stops, that's the maximum pressure. That's it. Underneath the protective cover is a pressure gauge. It looks like it's filled with water. It's not water, it's glycerin. And that glycerin's there to help the needle stop vibrating when it's up to pressure. There is a bubble in there, and it is meant to be there. The thread on the front, this is where your high pressure hose goes. And if you were listening before, it would be the black end of the high pressure hose that would screw onto this one. You have a normal hose lock type of connector. If you get a cheap, non-compatible to this hose lock type of connector, you can get drips. So get a good quality one. These, I think, are Gardena. So if you get a Gardena female coupling on your hose, it'll fit perfectly to it. So the main differences between this model and the older style model, as you can see, is the electric box. They used to have little fins on the side. They could get damaged quite easily, and most of the older machines now just don't have them fins on at all. So now it's more solid. It's less likely to get broken or damaged. The switch placement has changed, where the switch now is at the back rather than the top. When it was at the top, if you had the little rubber membrane split or anything like that, and chances are you could get water in there, it would go straight into the electrics, into the motor. So with a solid top now, it's less likely, unless you're spraying water in there, you're not going to get water into this side of it. The other changes that has happened is there used to be an oil sight glass here where you could see the level of the oil, you could see the colour of the oil, and that made a lot of people check that oil regularly. Now, if you have to check the oil, you would unscrew the oil filling cap that has a oil dipstick integrated with that cap. So it's really, really easy to do. You just need to do one extra step rather than looking at it. That obviously was a failure point if in really, really hot weather that threads could melt, they could move out, or the O-ring would break and it'd leak oil. So the options on the website are for the long gun, which is the Starlet 4 gun, or the short gun, which is the Starlet 3 gun. They both have the same connections at the bottom for the high pressure hose. Remember, the grey end fits on there to make them swivel around on the hose. The quick release on the front will take any D12 quick release coupling. You just need to get the correct colour band for your machine. So the 7122 TS and standard machine would carry the purple nozzle, which has the correct lance nozzle for it, that would quick release in. So the short stubby gun, that's available with the short stubby lance. You can take that lance out and it's backward compatible with the longer one if you prefer to have two hands on your lance and gun, but want it a little bit shorter than the long lance. The short dirt killers Usually on the mobile detailing game, they'd have it in the short, stubby lance and get round into the wheel arches. The carpeted wheel arches get vibrated and all the crud comes out of them. If you want something specific, we can do aftermarket guns. We can do long ones, short ones, extra long ones. We can go up to a telescopic 7.4 meters. Whatever you can think about, we'll probably have it, or at least be able to get it. So as standard from the website, you would get a 10 meter high pressure hose. This can be upgraded to a 15 or indeed a 20 meter from Kranzle. They're both the same ends with the grey for the gun. If you want anything specific or a longer hose, we have them in stock. If you want them on a hose reel or a retractable hose reel, again, just ask us. Thanks for watching the video to the end. If you enjoyed it or got something out of it, just give us a thumbs up, that'll really help. If you know anybody who can benefit by watching this video, then feel free to share it to them. If you can, subscribe. There's just me and the daughter in our own time. We're trying to do this video for you. And if you have any comments or you want to know anything else, leave them down below.